let me share with you a little bit around of what Ryan and I talked about today on expert mentors. And what we talked about when we got into this part of the conversation, because the whole conversation was around creating ads that work. And so when we got into this, he said, hey, he goes, here's what he has his clients do. He has them go through and list out their last 10 transactions and think through those last 10 transactions. Were they successful? Did you like them? Was it fun? Was it profitable for you? Was it a sustainable lead source? And I challenged him on that. I was like, well, explain what you mean by sustainable lead source. And I said, because typically when I do this exercise with most agents, a majority of their last 10 transactions come from repeat referral type of clients. And he's like, I would argue that that's not a sustainable lead source, because if I was to trade $1 on that lead source, am I going to get $2 back and by when, or $4 back? What's my return going to be? And so he said, you got to kind of think through it that way. And yes, repeat referral. Now, if you had a specific strategy to generate opportunities from those people, and driving them to consistently driving them to events, putting them another offer, maybe another purchase of an investment opportunity, something like that. That could be the source, because you're investing them, you're driving them to something else. So really think about that. But my challenge is like, was that transaction fun? Did you enjoy working with those people? Was the transaction profitable, right? Did they have money? So what were those things when you break apart those last 10 transactions? And that can help you start to craft out your kind of who your avatar is. Part of that momentum and drag exercise we had to do, that I had everybody kind of go through at kitchen table, was around that. And we did pretty much similar, the same thing. And I think this is worth sharing. And I would have had it out. I'm just thinking about it as I'm on the fly here. I just think it is powerful because it really helped me to get really clear on this. And let's see. And part of this exercise is list out your top 5 key clients, or the top 5 most fun clients, or the most 5 enjoyable clients, top 5 most profitable clients that you've had to work with, or had the opportunity to work with. So who are your top 5 best clients? And I understand in real estate, maybe it is. So I'll tell you this: in the Lawton office, our best client never did a transaction with us. However, he referred more business to us than anybody ever. He was our painter. But we had a lot of affinity. We had a lot of things in common. We both, we all loved OU football. We loved drinking beer. We loved finding properties and rehabbing those properties. So kind of think through, who are your best clients? What are the common characteristics of those top clients? What are the common characteristics of those top clients? And what we found too, some of our top clients, a lot of them were small business owners, some of our top clients. So we could speak business, right? We had an affinity. We could really help each other, and we would share business books, and we would, go out of our way to really kind of think through. So what are those common characteristics? What do they fear the most? What are their problems? Where do they see that their biggest opportunity is? And then what are their strengths that they have? And then what are your strengths that can help them overcome their fears. This is where we can help solve problems. We solve problems, money exchanges hands. Okay. So be thinking about through that, either through the avatar worksheet, through your last 10 transactions. What were the common characteristics? What did you love about it? Did you not like it? Were they fun? And sometimes here's the easiest thing is to think about the transactions we didn't like. Sometimes that's easier to get to the person is like, I do not want to work with that person ever again. And so that sometimes helps us build who our ideal person is really basing it off of the people that we don't want to work with. So being able to think through that. And then what are their challenges? What are their drags? What are their problems? And then how are you uniquely qualified to help them solve their problems? How are you uniquely qualified to help them solve their problems? And that really helps us as we start to really fine tune in on our business model, who we are really, really looking for. So who is your ideal client? Who is your ICP? So you will hear that, right? Who's your avatar? Who's your ideal client? Who's your person? Who do you want to work with? If you had to work with, and this goes back to the perfect day exercise. If you were to work, if you had one day to live over and over and over again, if you were going to work, who would you work with? Who would they be? And, I've done that exercise. I need to revisit that exercise, but in my perfect day, I do work. I work for about 3 to 4 hours on my perfect day. And it's only with a specific type of person. So if you had to work, if you were going to work and you had one day that you had to live over and over, who are you going to work with? And, what are the conversations? What are their characteristics? What are they trying to accomplish? How are you uniquely qualified to help them solve those problems? That's your homework. I want you guys to get real clear on your who. A lot of you guys on here know Jackie Bowman. And Jackie, she's more clear on her person than anybody I had ever kind of, that I've had the opportunity to work with, really knew who her person was. I mean, she had named her person. She knew kind of who they were, their age, their challenges in their health, in their business, in their relationships. Like, she knew it down to the detail. Now she could cater her conversations. She could cater her content. She could cater her coaching, all tailored to her person. And that's how we're able to move faster.